Yo, Elliot. So we got this question here from our buddy Mancow, who says that although he's growing stronger in multiple different patterns, his squat pattern just can't seem to go up. He's stuck at the 225-pound mark in his 1 rep max for a squat. What the hell's going on? Elliot, I lift heavy, but yet those muscles, that pattern, the squat, does not go up. I'm stuck. How do I break free from this plateau? One of the things you have to understand, and if you've been watching my videos long enough, you probably do, is that the muscular system and its ability to exert force upon an object, either with speed or with strength, is contingent upon the central nervous system's ability to speak to that muscle, right? The amount and intensity of force that can be produced from your central nervous system is going to dictate how well that muscle performs. So with that knowledge, you could figure that, look, well then I'm just going to spend a lot of time lifting heavy weights, and that's going to support me in my ability to increase more intensity of exertion out into my muscular system, right? So you lift heavy. That's the whole idea of lifting heavy. It increases your ability to generate intensity to go out into the muscle and produce force against an object. Squat. One of the things you got to recognize too is that you can't forget the fact that there needs to be a certain amount of motor units to become engaged by the nervous system in order to produce force. And the more motor units you have in the muscle, the more force it can produce. If you think about it with regard to lights, you increase the lumens, right? Is that correct? So the ability of the light bulb is increased by I can't say the size of the light bulb, but what's within the filament, right? And same thing like with your muscle. If there's more potency within the filament, there's more intensity being able to be produced, right? Same thing, flip on the light switch. You can increase the amount of electricity running through the wires within the circuit, but if the bulb is not strong enough, doesn't have the capacity to handle it, either it won't get much brighter no matter how much you send through it, or it'll just pop, right? That's what happens to a lot of us. So long story short, essentially what you need to do is increase the amount of motor units. Muscle. You need bigger fucking muscles, right? Elliot Hulse always wants to sound smarter than he really is, right? Why does this guy just give us the fucking answer? Well, the answer is you gotta get bigger muscles, and the way you're gonna get bigger muscles is by increasing the volume of work. So if you've been doing squats once a week for sets of 3, right, or even sets of 5, what I would invite you to do now is squat 2 or 3 times a week for sets of 15, 20 even. You're gonna have to lighten the weight, but this is what I'm asking you to do, is to use more of a bodybuilding approach to your strength training endeavors. Add some bodybuilding to your strength training routine. In fact, you might even want to back off just a little bit for a few weeks from the strength training, from increasing the intensity, right, to lower volume or lower intensity with higher volume in order to build the size of the muscle, and then come back. Now here's the thing, you might say, well that means, Elliot, that bodybuilders with gigantic muscles are probably stronger. Not always the case, because those are guys who focus on the light bulb, the size of the light bulb, never really focusing on increasing the amount of current, electric current running through the light bulb. So you got this big, nice, fancy fucking light bulb, and you flip the switch and it just peters out. It's like, well, there's nothing there, big ass light bulb, ain't nothing there. So you want to do a little bit of both. That's why I always advocate hybrid type programs. You want to build some muscle, but you also want to add some strength to it. The best bodybuilders, the best powerlifters, the strongest guys in the world are also pretty fucking huge. Think about that, because there's greater surface area within the muscle. I mean, you get better leverage that way too. If you want to consider it biomechanically, there's greater leverage with a bigger muscle. But there's also, like I say, a greater capacity for the muscle to produce force because there are more motor units. So there you go, dude. Sometimes to get stronger, you gotta train like a bodybuilder. Done. Yo, Elliot.